wana ko vehi ka lehu lehu o ka ahu manu tu ulani hei no ai hei no ano ka ahu manu ne e papa ka helua kala i puna ai he hoa no utapua o te ali he ali i he hiva nā ta o nohi ula he le hua do aloha na we tui e tui no oe a lava tō make Make au e ike a wai a kea I ka lawe miti a te au I hae Miki no taua lawe a ka makani O ki pau ka hana I te one o apu ai
No, the beach is right thing. We looked at that. We could have come around the beach.
At this time, we'd ask kindly for everyone to rise.
Puale hua I ka wau I po ai I na manua huka Kuule hua I mo hala I ka ua o hao Hua au ka hale nei ua hiki mai no o kou He mai no e O e ia e kalani nui meha e he a koanani I wa kilo mokula E komo A oli I vehe na a oli vai hona kona po O ka ho a ke ia e A ule no ka ua haau elele a ia na mau ka o au lele E komu I ka hale o ke aloha lani Au I ke ki o vai ka pua po na hake one E nui ka awa a kane kanua I Hawaii E ola ia kini a kua ia o e Is that when you rolled up? When you rolled up, see? A little bit longer. It's lovely. I love that look. I said I love that Okay, so the flag is in. We've got a couple of speeches and we're on. The speeches are short.
Ano ai ke aloha kākou. Please be seated. Receiving the Queen's Royal Standard today Governor Josh Green and First Lady Jamie Kanani Green, the first Native Hawaiian First Lady. Also Gussie Schubert, Dominus descendant and president of the Washington Place Foundation. Senator Jarrett Keohokalole, Queen's descendant and chair of the Native Hawaiian Caucus in the Senate. And finally, Representative Daniel Holt, Dominus descendant and chair of the Native Hawaiian Caucus in the House. Mahalo nui, and we'd like to send a special mahalo to Kumuhula Kaleo Trinidad, Kumuhula Tati Fox, and her son Kahi Fox for their kokua with today's procession. At this time, I am honored to introduce Kahuken Makuakane of the Kauai Ha'o Church. Founded in 1820 through the influence of Queen Ka'ahumanu, Kauai Ha'o Church is the oldest church in our state. The building was commissioned in 1839 by King Kamehameha III. Kahuma Kuakane serves as the 12th pastor of the 200-year history of Kauai Ha'o Church.
Aloha kia kua, e nā aumakua, e nā kūpuna, e nā makua, e nā keiki. A me nā pua o Hawaii nei. E ki kia aina, Josh Green. A me ka hope kia aina, Sylvia Luke. Aloha mai kako, aloha. The Queen had once said, "You must remember never to cease to act because you fear you may fail." In 2012, I was at the Iolani Palace parking, going to see then Senator Berkeley Galataria along with Auntie Tony Lee, Governor Waihe'e, and others. And something bothered me, is that I saw the Queen standing in the middle, and it says Queen of Hawaii, 1891 to 1893. And I remember then that it bothered me. And so because of the acts of many of our people, we changed it. And if you look at her sign today, it says Queen of Hawaii, 1891 to 1917. Our kuleana, our responsibility as Kanaka, is to move in such a way that 7 generations past our lifetime will still feel the effects of what we do here today. To come to know that we are always moved with aloha as we continue to look forward. And we must look forward by looking to our past. Classical composer Gustav Mahler eloquently penned, "Tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the perpetuation of the flame." And at this moment in time, our flame has been rekindled. May God continue to reign supreme in our beloved Aina Hanau and on this sacred Washington Place for all of us. E ho mana kako, let us pray. E kia kua Makualani, ke ho o mai kai aku nei mako ia oe. O oe pū ke kahi, o oe mamua, o oe mahope, o oe maloko, o oe mawaho. Nau e kia I kōkua ia kako. Aona mea pono ole, nau no oki ho oka avale aku. You are here before us, and you see our hearts. And as we move to make effects for just 7 generations past us, sometimes, Lord, we have to ask ourselves, if our path seems more difficult, it is because our calling is higher. So let us together as a lahui, as we praise you and we praise our people and we praise our Queen, as we praise the generations that have come before us, let us lay the groundwork for the next generation. Ima wako kaloko mai kai o ka hako Yesu Kristo, a me ke aloha o kia kua, a me kalona pua na me ka ohane he molele me o kou, pakahi a pau. Amene, amene, amene.
Mahalo Kahu Ken for that beautiful blessing and that inspirational message on this historic day. It is a privilege this morning to invite Governor Josh Green and First Lady Jamie Kanani Green to give their remarks. You guys can pa'i lima for them to come up.
Mai kahikina o ka la I hae a ka veloana a ka la I lehua aloha. Velina mai me ke aloha e nā puanani o Hawaii ne. O wau o Jamie Kanani Green, o wau kawahine mua o Hawaii ne. Aloha everyone here and across the state. The governor and I are so honored to be a part of this momentous occasion. Bringing back the Queen's Royal Standard to Washington Place, her home, for 55 years until her death in 1917. I appreciate the words of Kahuken. Queen Liliuokalani is our queen. Her personal royal standard is not just a historical artifact. Its return represents the perpetuation of her legacy. She put the well-being of her people first. It symbolizes her personal sacrifice to secure the prosperity and peace for her people. Mahalo to the Kwananokoa Estate, Damon Estate, our Attorney General, and our State Archivist, Adam Jansen, for their roles in bringing the Queen's personal royal standard home to us where it belongs. Mahalo.
Royal Order, Royal Society, governors, friends and family. It's a historic moment that I would prefer that Jamie's words stood for us today. So I'll say really only that. Mahalo for giving me the honor to be included in this moment, but it's Jamie's words that I want us to focus on today. So thank you, honey, for making this happen.
I am a little taller than the First Lady. Mahalo, Governor Green and First Lady. Please join me in welcoming next Gussie Schubert, President of the Washington Place Foundation, a descendant of the Dominus Ohana and the Queen's Hanai great-granddaughter.
Aloha. My family is directly tied into this home built by my great-great-grandfather and for his wife. Their son, John Owen, married Liliu in 1862 and chose Washington Place as their primary residence. John fathered a child, John Aimoku, who the Queen then hanai'd. Aimoku married Sybil McInerney, who then they moved into this home with Liliu. 3 children were born here, the last of which is my mother, Virginia Beatrice Kahuhani Nui o Holokawailani, and she was born right upstairs. We are tied to this home. Throughout the years, the family received a lot of items from this home. We have personal items from the Queen, of which to us as a family agreed that they needed to be returned, of which several have been already, except for a few that we hold very special. So bringing home the Queen's Royal Standard is a part of this history. We need to know our past in order to make our journey into the future, as everyone has been saying today. It is a huge portion of our history and such an important day that it has returned home. Thank you.
Mahalo nui, Gussie. State Archivist Dr. Adam Jansen was instrumental in the return of the Queen's Royal Standard back to Hawaii. We are grateful for his work in recovering such a special piece of our history. Dr. Jansen, we welcome your mana'o today.
Aloha mai kākou. January 1893 was one of those critical inflection points that forever sent the land that we love down a different path. And because of the calamity of the events that occurred, key items of Hawaii's history were lost, stolen, and deprived to generations of Hawaiians. One such example, finally, after 130 years, sits before us today. I've been asked to speak about the events around the Royal Standard and how a near miraculous turn of events brought it back home to Hawaii. We all know the story of January 17th, but the upheaval did not stop on that one day. It continues to today. What occurred, in Colonel Soper's own words, was that, quote, acting under instruction of the councils, I sent one of my aides, C.A. Brown, with a note to Liliuokalani directing the lowering of that standard and prohibiting it from being raised again, but informing her that she was at liberty to fly the Hawaiian flag. 2 days later, that flag was again flying. Whether through a deliberate act or the result of household staff going about their day, we don't know. But we do know from Soper's own words again that, quote, ordered Major Nolan to secure the possession of the royal standards and deliver them to the commanding officer at the barracks. At that point, Her Majesty's Royal Standard disappears from history. That is, until 2 years ago, when a local antiquities dealer purchased a number of Soper items from descendants of Soper residing in California. Looking to turn a profit, he then engaged with one of the largest auction houses in the United States, Bonhams of New York City, to auction off all of the Soper items he had acquired. And here is where fate decided otherwise. And the people of Hawaii chose a different path, a better path, a path that brings their history and their heritage home. This past October, my royal brother, Tori Laitila, brought to my attention that the Queen's Royal Standard was being auctioned. The staff at the archives quickly did a diplomatic analysis to determine if these artifacts were of governmental origin or of personal effect. We pled our case to the Office of the Attorney General, and we're very fortunate to have a champion and then supervising Deputy Attorney General Michael Vincent, who immediately emailed, certified mailed, faxed, and probably carrier pigeoned over a notice of claim to make sure that Bonhams absolutely got the word. That does not belong to you. That belongs to the people of Hawaii. And to their credit, Bonhams immediately took the auction down and canceled the public pre-inspection viewing. That is when two very gracious, generous benefactors stepped forward. While I'm confident we could have pursued a lawsuit and ultimately won, through the graciousness of Princess Abigail Kawana Nakoa and Brendan Damon Ethington, they stepped forward and said, no, let us purchase these items. The cost is immaterial, considering the speed and efficacy at which we can return these items to the people now, today. And thanks to these generous donors, Deputy Attorney General Dave Allen and myself flew out to New York to hand carrier these things back. 6 hours on the ground, 18 hours in flight, and worth every minute. I wish I had words to express the joy in my heart that this was actually able to happen. And lastly, I wish to express my extreme gratitude to Governor Green, Attorney General Lopez, and Comptroller Regan for supporting the retrieval of these historic objects. They may not be experts in records, but they understand and advocate protecting the history of Hawaii. And also to thank the countless dedicated public servants within the Office of the Governor, the Office of the Attorney General, and DAGS who made these things happen behind the scenes working tirelessly for last-minute everythings. As we firmly believe that public records and artifacts belong in the public archives under public record laws, we will continue to fight to bring these irreplaceable heritage items home. No matter where they reside, for the good of the people and the benefit of future generations, we must bring them home. And now, since I am the only thing standing between you and viewing the Queen's Royal Standard, I bid you mahalo nui loa for your passion and love of history. And let's get to it, shall we? Thank you.
Mahalo, Dr. Jansen, for that truly inspirational speech. At this time, the Queen's Royal Standard will begin its unfurling process to prepare for its display at Washington Place this morning. While that process is taking place, we would like to welcome Pua'ali'i Ilima under the direction of Na Kumuhula Vicky Holt Takamine and Jeffrey Takamine as they present a hula pahu entitled Pa'u o Liliu, which honors Queen Liliuokalani and her pa'u, which is made of kapa and natural dyes. Mahalo nui.
Ka he kili ku'ike nei 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 na kolona kolo kolona I lalo kele onua nua nua kalani pa'a ho vivili pa'a ka honua honua ku no kanaloa e ku ua pa'a e o mai koinoa e o Kahiko kanani le ahi wahi wagalama na ola kapamaya kumano makani hali ala o kaimuki makani hali ala o kaimuki no ke aloha e kahulu mamo kale kahiko ukino Ki ia ku ke aloha
Mahalo kumu hula, Vicky Holt Takamine, and Pua Ali'i Lima. After 130 years, our Queen's Royal Standard is home. May its return inspire future generations to learn from Liliu's example of humility and service in pursuit of peace and prosperity. We are humbled to be here in the presence of the Queen's spirit and her standard today. Oni pa'a. This concludes the formal program for today. We invite those in attendance here at Washington Place to view the Queen's Royal Standard and other significant items in the residence. Docents are stationed throughout Washington Place. Attendees will be invited up by row. We ask your patience as we allow the speakers and the media in today's program to view the Royal Standard first. And now it gives me great pleasure to welcome Na Hoku Hanohano award-winning musical group, Walea, whose mission is to preserve our traditional Hawaiian music. Undoubtedly, they will share ono music to help us close this historic day. Mahalo nui and oni pa'a kako.